Friends, I want to give you a set of lessons. Learning from scratch. Each lesson is about right hemispheric drawing. After this course, you'll be able to paint any picture. We're giving away this course for free. There will be a lot of lessons in the records that you will follow step by step and develop your creative vision, artist vision. Vision and develop the right hemisphere, which lags behind nowadays. I've been doing this for 10 years. Basically, we did it all offline, in person. Now you can get it all online. That's why, follow the link. It is down below in the description. The link will also be here in the upper right corner. Click on it. Subscribe and get these lessons right away. See you in class.
Is lighting good? You have a great one too, I assure you. Now we'll see. What a picture. Wonderful. Here it's better to make a shadow under it a little redder. See what a beautiful piece turned out to be. Dope. You need to put your signature here. It lacks only your signature here. In general, everything is good. The flowers turned out really bright, juicy. You look at it from afar. See? Almost no difference from mine. My name is Ekaterina Sedova. Today we will paint flowers in a vase. Very bright. Where do we start with you? That's right. First, we'll define the vase and the main shape of the bouquet. Where it actually starts. You just draw a horizontal line. Outline the base of the vase approximately in the middle. A little further from this horizontal, we have a narrowing, and then it gets wider. To make it straight, you can outline the axis in the middle of your vase, for it to be symmetrical. It is easier to get oriented in composition if you immediately create a total mess. You see the whole picture, the whole bouquet, the shape of it and what place it takes on a canvas. These spots are like glowing, and so you can immediately determine where they will be, in very general forms. See, for example, if you take the central flower, it is a little to the left side of the vase, but at the same time, it is very large and captures the middle. That is such a big flower. Next to it is another, yellow one. It is more to the right side. And one little red one at the top. Outline the orange flower, of course, it's big. Here I lowered it a little, somewhere here it will be. These little red flowers can be painted as a whole mess. That's not necessarily to paint them there right away, just a common mess, not separating them yet. This color is bright enough. Yes, the flower which we have to the right of the vase, I painted over. Liquidy enough for now, as if you're rubbing. Somewhere you may even see some of your outline, but it is important for us to see these spots. Here is some small flower. Take pure yellow and cover it completely. Here is a flower too. Bright. You also can add some of this orange in these yellow flowers inside a little bit. So some other shade appeared there. You can blend with your fingers. And with this orange, you can also cover your vase a little. the right side. It will glow so beautifully. We call it a reflex. I will also teach you a little while painting. Reflex is a reflection of objects from each other. In this case, where does this reflex come from? From the flowers, right? From this orange one, which fell down, and of course it reflects on the vase. Of course we have red flowers. Here is a color I'm making. Saturated enough. I cover those places where we have red spots. And the red flowers that are nearby, they can be even connected with each other. Don't be afraid that they will merge. We will separate them with light. We also have a purple flower. I blend with my finger in the middle. I am interested in the tone where I will have a flower. I add a little burgundy to lilac, dilute with oil, and mark with my finger where we will have purple flowers. In this way. By the way, while you're painting with red color, look, I completely forgot. Here you can paint with this red on the vase next to orange. And you can use your finger to blend these two paints with each other. And such a very funny picture we've got for now. What is the brightest place? The highlights on the flowers, right? It seems simple enough that the highlights on the flowers are the lightest. But when you work, sometimes you forget it, and you start to lighten the background too much. And when it happens, the flowers don't seem too bright enough. So keep in mind that your background is darker than the flowers. We start with the dark, such blue. We refine our ways. This blueness I rub to the side a little. When we paint dark places with this paint, we do not apply it thick. Doing more like feathering, maybe even with a finger. There is some brown and green. There is all sorts of shades. Let's get brown color. It's quite intense and dark. Green is lighter. If anything, we'll apply it above. So, I take the brown color and I continue this blueness. You can blend with brown. Okay, brown and a little madder. And you can make the color redder here, closer to our flowers. See that you have already obtained some silhouette of the flowers, so don't make them in circles. It's better to make some kind of clumsy ones. And get close to the flowers. Have painted somewhere with red. And further, we have sand ochre. You can first mix it with brown color. so it merges with dark and smoothly transition from color to color. Mix ochre with brown. In this way. Next, wipe the brush and use it cleaned. With ochre, you can go somewhere inside the bouquet. Do not be afraid. And blend with your finger to the left side, here to the edge. Don't be afraid if you get there some strokes. You can always use such a large brush, number 16th, and with such light movements like a broom, make strokes transitions smoother from color to color. So add one shade, another one. Look, I've been painting the left bottom so far. If you have dark color and the brush with thigh color in it, you can still paint with the brown paint right here. Mark where the shadow will be and indicate that we have a round base and some kind of shadow. Designate such an arc. I have it wider now. Then I will make it narrower from above. This line in brown, and to the right side of the vase we will have a shadow. You can add blue to brown a little for the shadow to be even more intense, closer to the vase. Then it fades away. You can feather it like that. Then we add white, finally, to our background. See what a hue we have. And I go to the upper left corner, somewhere up here. With this background, with this brush, you can add some strokes on ochre, so you have smooth transitions from color to color. Such brooms. Take a big brush, it will be faster. And somewhere on top. Do not be afraid to go deep into the bouquet. Again, into the flowers. Around the red flower and into the bouquet, of course. Go with the background, because we have such leaves in the bouquet against the background. With a slightly pinkish paint, I go to the right edge, right here, with a big brush. I apply it somewhere next to the bouquet, definitely next to the purple flower. I'm going down here. If you don't get a smooth transition, you can paint somewhere on top with this pink color, so that you have transitions. Then to the same shade I add lilac. It turns out a little dirty. I continue painting the right edge a little lower. Somewhere you can mix colors with your finger on the canvas. Lower, there is a different shade. I'm not going in there just yet. And closer to the vase, I circle its silhouette, applying it closer to the flowers. And obviously, next to the table. And then to have these two shades meet, I can just mix them together. This blue shade and this dirty lilac. I mix them and I get something in between. Maybe even more. Blue wins. So I also add a lilac shade with white. Don't forget to wipe the brush, because a lot depends on how clean it is, on how much paint there is still on it, that prevents you from doing the shade you desire. That prevents you from doing the shade you desire. With this blue, you can do some separate strokes on lilac, so one color resonates with another one. So while you're painting, for those who's watching us, how did we do this background? We first painted in blue on the left side of the vase, then added brown color. It was smeared here to the left side. Somewhere painted in just brown, somewhere brown and blue to add special dark accent. Higher, I applied ochre and brown, and somewhere madder and brown, in order to a new shade to appear, and so that there was a little lighter shade than the one below. Then I painted in the middle left part with just ochre, and higher there is already ochre with white. In the middle part, there I added madder to the mix of ochre and white to create a rosy hue. Further here in the corner, I added some lilac color, and the lower right edge is with the addition of blue color. Like this. And to the vase, to get such bright deep shade, it is necessary to add white and brown to blue. There is also a light green on here, in these places. We will do the foliage right away. But so that we have here some kind of a white spot is left, I'll immediately paint it over. So now, let's mix. For some small things, you can take a smaller brush. I just decided to add a speck of green. We will make foliage here. I had a completely empty space, so I decided to add green, ochre and white. And show some kind of background somewhere between the flowers, where you can already paint some foliage. Green, white and ochre, a very light shade. somewhere between our flowers to the depth of the bouquet, a little. And somewhere in the background, you can put some green tint closer to the flowers. And as you can see, it's light enough. We do not make it very dark, especially in a light background. Here you can paint a little more. And that's it. There are very rich, dark spots between the flowers inside the bouquet. Look, we have some dark spots here. We paint them more intensively. I even add blue to green. A little blue so it doesn't overpower others. And next to our flowers, the red, orange ones, I add this dark green shade. I took bristles number 3 and immediately make sure that the silhouette of flowers begins to show up. There is a dark spot on one side. Somewhere here, under purple, you can add some dark spots under the vase. And next to the red is blue and green. Somewhere in a blue background. And they can both blend in with the background. And inside the bouquet, at the top part of the purple flower, you can add greenery. Somewhere here, a little, just a drop of blue, otherwise it will be too bluish. Somewhere here is the dark section. Such dark spots. It is better if you, on the contrary, darken too much than brighten. Your shadows will be deeper and the greens will look more interesting if you paint in a more darker shade. In this case, you can smear here, literally here, the dark and intense one. And emphasize some moments and make sure that there are some dark spots going down the vase. Here we will insert one into the other. Have been working on the greens and have completely forgotten about the table. There is also a table, right? Painting a table with a big brush. I add ochre. You can first just cover the table with pure ochre without white. This side. somewhere up here. And then maybe add some more shades. Red, for example. I take red, mix it in ochre, and adding red on this edge with separate strokes. In this case, you can use both madder or cadmium red. You will just have different proportions. So, and we see the closer to the vase, the brighter the color gets. You can paint a little more with ochre here, near the vase. I'm painting without whitewash, creating this shadow, blending in ochre and red. Then you can add white to the ochre. There is even a hint of yellow in there. Strokes are horizontal. There are even some pure white smears somewhere down here. So, first, we paint the edges with ochre, both right and left ones. Then, we add red in ochre. We make separate strokes on this ochre. There are especially a lot of them at the left side. They're more contrasting there. Feathering ochre up the shadow so that it merges into the background. And then, you add white to this shade so that everything mixes up. Make sure that the edge is more or less even. Need a big brush to soften the edge a little. So that it is not very sharp. Lilac, white, and a little ochre. Such a tone. I'll show you again. It turns out so gray, roughly speaking. And with this gray shade, I'm starting to paint the vase here. I'm starting from the right side. Don't be afraid if you catch blue. The blue shade won't hurt at all. If you have blue got in, you can just add more ochre and continue to paint. And I painted over completely this part, except for these red reflections. I don't get to them yet. Closer to red tints. You can add red to this shade. Add here, somewhere in the middle, I'm adding a little pink. I have it going down somewhere. You can soften it somewhere with your finger or a brush. We remember that we have a red reflex here. It needs to be strengthened and blended again with that pink paint, or with this gray one. This is a very bright vase. I also paint a little on the right edge, but carefully. Use the smallest brush with that gray color that we had there, touching literally the very edge. I circle the very edge of the vase. A little bit down below. I don't paint over the orange. You can then use a dry, clean brush, dip it in oil, wipe well, and feather this light gray shade in this orange, so that our vase is even. I'm emphasizing this edge. A very bright vase. Well, the bottom. It is a little blue, so I add a little bit of blue. To the lilac, some white, literally a drop. Blue to lilac. So, look, I've added blue to this gray shade. You can add lilac to white. See if it's brighter on the right side, bluer. And on the left side, it is lighter. I'm adding more whitewash. So that our vase is rounded. Not only the bottom edge should be round, but also the top of this bottom should be round. And you can round it off with red. Take the red tint again and make such an arc here and bring it to a reflex. All that's left to do is a highlight on the vase, but that's another story. Now working more thoroughly on the flowers. So, we take a bristle number 8, which is flat. And let's look again at some volumes of our flowers, some dark moments. I load orange, and starting from this yellow flower, I find its basket, some kind of an arc. You can even add a little red to the orange. Making an arc and darkening its right side a little. Then you can blend with your finger a little into yellow. The same with the arc. This is how we got the base of the flower. I do the same with other flowers. I paint the middle brighter. I add a little bit of red and orange. Let's blend it. See, if you apply a lot, it will be more difficult to blend. And here in the flowers that go down below, they have the basket going down here. Here is this lower part. And you can do the same with a small flower. Make it a little redder at the bottom. And pay attention to the silhouette of the flowers. What does it mean? With this orange, with red, you can paint these petals that go over the background. Some petals are light somewhere, some were quite dark. And with a brush you outline the outer petals, especially on the flower that we have down here. The same with the red flowers. But with them, I can load more matter. It's this red burgundy shade. Separate somewhere these 3 flowers with lines like this. To show some darkness inside the flower that is inside the bouquet. And also don't forget that you can blend this matter from the lighter line with a finger or a brush. That is, in this case, this flower which is left, it is light. And behind it we have dark ones. I select it and blend this line to those petals that we have to the right. Also looking at the bottom and top, they can be parted too. And which one is the furthest? The top one is behind, right? And I separate it. Use a smaller brush. Do what's more convenient for you. I also mark the border of the most left red flower with a dark color. I immediately outline some of its petals with madder and blending again from these petals to the bottom part of the flower, from top to bottom. A common mess. Maybe even darken the edge of the flower a little more, which is closer to the vase. I darken its right and bottom parts a little. And also blending with my finger. It's better not to do much there. In general, it is bright enough. That is, there may be only a little matter. If you ended up with a completely shapeless part here, take a smaller brush, take the background color. Maybe you still have it on the palette. If not, mix. Lilac, ochre, white. Did we take these ones? Kind of dirty. And with this background, refine the flower's shape. So you immediately see which flower is where, to keep it from being an incomprehensible mess. On the red ones, you can add all these dots later, but in orange you can immediately do this brighter color, quite orange red, so you can immediately feel the value. And I'm moving onward to the purple flower. I add white and a little burgundy to lilac. I get this color. We'll mix more of it. So, lilac, burgundy, and whitewash. Here is my beautiful lilac color. And with this color, I start looking for the shape of the flower that we have in the middle. And I'm starting to paint strokes next to that purple space. And I'm starting to paint strokes next to that purple space which we made the shadow with. I don't cover the purple, just rubbing in some lighter shades there. And with lilac, you can out those strokes that are on the left side and the bottom. See what I'm doing? In this case here, I press the brush and release it. Press, release. So that I have some smears against the background of red. Surely, you must feel your flower starts. You see, there we have a dark part. From it, we have petals going to the top part, and below it, on the contrary, going down. To make it more clear for me to understand where the middle starts, I can mark it with the red color. Can be done with a finger. That is, painting an intermediate color between lilac and this dark one, and with whitewash. That is, we will blend the whitewash into this lilac color. I add more lilac to the other flowers. White, maybe a little matter, but quite a bit. More lilac. And I'm painting the flowers on the sides. Don't go overboard with white. I've overdone it. Making the strokes from the background, creating its form. We're blending into this dark color. That is, the shade gradually becomes more intense, from the bottom to the inside. See? I press the brush and let go. I press, I release. Same here. There is almost no light, only at the end. There are these separate strokes. They are at the top left part. I press, I release. Moreover, my lilac is not painted over. I have strokes in some places at the top part. The transition here is more contrast, perhaps. Here it is smoother. This side is a little darker. Look, I'll show you now. It turns into a circle. Gotta loosen up a bit. Do not be afraid and apply here. Make it somehow more geometric, and they go into the dark, and for some reason you have this space not painted. You must have the darkest part inside the flower, and there all the petals strive. Same here, get away from this contour. If you see that the flower turned out too big, take the background color with another brush and fix the flower with it. Define the needed shape. Take brown and vice versa. Bring the background here like this, inward. And fix it with the background. Now I want us to move on to the greenery, before we start doing any light strokes. I take the green, yellow, making this chartreuse color more yellow. Do you still have yellow? Good. So, I mix with yellow and green. I make such a beautiful chartreuse. And starting next to our purple flower, you can use brush number 3. Painting the greenery neatly, defining the flower's silhouette more attentively, and let your greenery start to go onto the background. In the dark places, we did blue, worrying it does not completely cover them. Just add some shades. So, let's start painting our flowers. Due to that, we're painting the leaves next to them. Leaves may still seem like they are not what they are at all, but maybe just some smears. Somewhere you can blend these strokes with the background like this, with your finger or a brush. Somewhere they can be clearer. It's not necessarily to cover these dark places completely. Apply a couple of light smears, and then you can already put them in the background. The strokes are quite light. You can take a little oil on a brush to make it easier for you to work. Be sure to paint with this chartreuse paint somewhere at the right side of the bouquet. Let it merge with the background. And of course, there will be some on the vase. Be sure to pay attention to how I do them. From flowers, such strokes go. That is, from the base of the leaf to the end, not vice versa. They will be somewhere in the dark background. In the light, you can make them a little lighter, more yellowish. Next to the purple one. Don't be afraid to add some chaos here. These leaves are placed quite chaotic. Somewhere there is a lighter shade, you can add white. Until I made very big leaves, these are the lightest. I still haven't done the lightest ones. I have such a base that goes under them. So be sure to paint leaves somewhere under the red flower. So, whose piece do I take to show? Let's take yours. Wow, everything is fine except that you didn't listen to me. Here, look, everything seems to be done correctly. I want to tell you that it's necessary to paint close to the flower at this stage. Take this green color. If anything, we will cover it with whitewash. Do not be afraid. But now it is necessary to outline the silhouette of the flowers. And somewhere, bring this green here, inside. That is, you start moving from the flower, from its silhouette, and then go somewhere in the blue, yellow, and so on. And going onto this surface. And here, from a flower. Why are you afraid of doing so? Like, you'll be stabbed if you paint on the previous layer. Do not be afraid. You've got some leaves there growing in a chaotic manner. Here they are popping out, and here. There must be freedom. What prevented you from making large leaves, from making some small ones? What prevented you from making big ones here? And be sure to paint the foliage next to the flower so that you can immediately see its outline, its silhouette. Look where we have it. That's where I did it dark. If you don't have that yet, then you can apply some dark color. This yellow one, both on one side and on the other one. I have this orange in dark above, and if you don't have it circled, apply green below. The purple one I have circled with light green on the left side. And at the bottom there is dark color somewhere, but some lighter shades could also be mixed into this dark. To make a difference, you can put brown here into the leaves. Just to have them as a total mass. Here I can add some leaves too, darker. A branch is seen here. Red here, bam. And here, bam. We haven't gotten there yet, but also so that you understand that here we have some kind of light blob. And some leaves are emerging from it, lighter ones. You have to let your own hand paint. Where would it move? You don't know. A little bit of chaos. The leaves are total chaos. Loosen up a little. And you all are painting as if someone cut this bush with scissors. And they said, no, here have a smooth edge, and here too, even here. Mess it up. It's closer here, but still not what's desired. You see a solid border, and here's the same. A border, a border. Just something must stick out of there. Here, this part, for example. Here's somewhere some kind of twig. Some individual strokes. The leaves, which are higher, there you went too far. There should be brighter strokes. There are no much dark ones. There you can add light. White, yellow. They will be lighter, more yellow, brighter. Here you started doing such a thing. Add more details here somewhere on the vase. Don't be afraid. What are you afraid of? Look. There are some dark strokes. Now I've added some brown color, a brighter shade in my drawing. You can even take brown with green. Make such intensive accents brighter there. Here, look, a silhouette is not readable. Give some emphasis with this greenery, so it draws attention to this orange flower, to make it clear what shape it is. Do you understand? Now it's clearer. It's the same here. I apply more green here, and you can already see some kind of a shape formed. The same with this one and that one. Again, back to the flowers. Then we will finish off the greenery. We'll work on your sense of chaos. What flowers do we start with? From the yellow ones? Okay. Here the strokes are quite wide, so I'll take a number 8. Wipe it off real well. Dip in oil and wipe until you get a blister on your finger. It will anyway be in paint, just somehow make it cleaner. Then we load pure white, thick, just like thick sour cream. And we start. I wanted purple to begin. Let's start with the yellow one, the central flower. No, let's go from the one on the side, cause if you'll make a mistake... We'll practice here. What am I doing? Here I have dark, the basket. These are my lightest strokes. I apply the paint. Here I put a smear, and here too. I do this with a white brush, and I'm painting with the outer side of the brush. From outside, inward, densely, until this basket. These are the strokes that come out of the basket. We have a flower. He has a basket. The petals are coming up over here. And there are some on the contrary that are going to the sides. These are just what we're painting now. Somewhere a basket is underlined with a long stroke. On the right side, there are also some strokes in yellow-white, wide enough. The top of the flower, here it is. Bright. Yellow. Wonderful. There is not enough liveliness, such separated petals. But in general, I like it. Yes. We can add more yellow and a little white. Apply some smears. Somewhere they might blend into this orange, with very light movements, not dense at all. Small strokes I put inside. Not thick, but small strokes somewhere inside. And while you have yellow on the brush, you can still show this small flower here. Loading the paint densely. And immediately finding the silhouette with the strokes. You can take orange for the small flower. There is also a white highlight there. To make it, you need to take a thick amount of paint and put it here. So we will continue to work with a white brush. We have a second yellow flower. What are we doing? We are emphasizing the cup with some small strokes of white, with a narrow line. Next, a little higher, I do strokes around the dark. Please note that above our strokes will be lighter, and below dimmer. That is, they can be done with a drier brush. That is, wipe the brush and in such vertical movements do the strokes like this. Feather down a little, but just the top ones. You can also do it here. Then make it thicker again. Once again, on the yellow one, here is a similar flower. Under the basket, there is a small line. Under the dark, which we emphasized. Further, there are some loose strokes going from the basket. Make sure they are not very wide, the lower ones, going into the background here. And now, a little above the basket one more time. Another row of such a small arc, but the strokes are already wider. And further on, with horizontal white strokes, I start painting this top part of the petals, immediately modeling them. Wipe the brush thoroughly, and you can feather them down. Bring them to the middle so the strokes are kind of blended. This is how it is. Next, I mix the white color with red. More red, less white. Look, not a very light color turned out. Mixing pink color and starting to paint these red flowers. Their left side to be precise. Also with strokes according to the shape. In this case, this flower is turned back, so we can't see the cup. But we have just some hints of individual petals. And here we can see them very well, but we won't paint them with pure white. You can do it with pink first, the petals that are going sideways and the cup itself. Make such an arc in pink. Some smears are blended in the matter here. You can blend them with your finger. Make sure you have the lower part of this flower remain red. Here too, such a matter bright spot. Somewhere I lighten the closest petal of that small flower, only its edge. Here you can lighten the edge of our flowers too. You can add more red so that they are not standing out too much. The topmost flower also a pinkish tint, mostly red color. Applying some horizontal strokes at the top part of this flower. Do not forget that with these strokes, we are not only showing the color, but also creating the shape. Next, we take a lighter color, adding even more white. Almost pure white, and I'm painting the flower that is closest to us, also in horizontal strokes. I'm defining the shape. Somewhere I have these strokes, on the contrary, going from outside to inside, such a bright white smear. See? I press and let go. I press, I release. So that there is some blending going on. I'll definitely emphasize the cup in white, with a brighter stroke. You can even take a small brush and make very small highlights. Small petals, small brush. Make some small highlights with a small brush. Next, I take white for the purple flower. I'll start with the central one. I'll start with the top petals. Somewhere they cover the yellow flower, so make sure that you don't have a white canvas left. I start first by forming the shape at the top. Then I wipe the brush dry and I feather them down a little, like this, the same shade. Take a look, this thick smear. I repeat it with a dry brush, down. It's practically coming to naught, because there is no paint on the brush left. I only have taken it from this smear and feather it. Moving it to the inside, and then again I outline a cup in white, and then again I outline the cup in white thickly, the light on it bright enough. Nearby white light strokes. Moreover, first, do the bottom silhouette. The lower part is done, and then you can blend them. But don't touch those white parts. This cup should remain dark. You can blend them, make lighter, and then again, with a smaller or the same brush, put some thicker strokes somewhere inside the cup. Better with a small brush. These lines are going inward. If the cup is lost, you can highlight this arc with madder. And with this madder, burgundy color, make this bottom part of the cup. And a dot inside the flower with brown. Here. The dot inside the flower will be in brown color, even in the orange flower. But it's better to make it red here, madder or red. Here again, you can emphasize a cup with red or madder in an arc. And the very middle. Mix red with madder. Make a red shade. On red flowers, it is better to mix with brown, otherwise the center will not be visible. And on the small flowers too, the middles are dark, such dark 3 dots. I still gotta do the purple flowers. I didn't finish this top one. There are also a couple of light smears on the top. Well, and the top one on the left. There are a couple of strokes on the top part. I'll show you. It is lost there. It's mostly bright there. But here it is dark, so take all the left oil that you have on the palette and apply here. Here too. Here, have you seen it? You can feather them in some places, but not that much so that they disappear. Here you can feather the strokes, and you've lost your basket. Here it should be dark. Just make it a little higher. So, we have dark centers that can be done with red color. Make these arcs somewhere, then on the small flowers, besides the dark, there are some yellow dots. You can mark them too. We'll make some small petals with red color, some fallen ones. And of course, the light leaves. We have them in white, yellow, a drop of green. Such light color is obtained. And next to our light flowers, we paint beautiful light leaves. None overlapping our greenery completely, but simply complementary. Somewhere the greens are brighter, almost white. Somewhere more yellow-green. Most of the light is at the top. In other places, there are light leaves in a light background. But in general, there are only some light twigs left to be done. Doing them with a thin brush, adding a little bit of oil to make the brush slide better. Such light smears, glares, and stamps on the flowers that are turned back. And with a dark color, brown, green, you can paint such thin stems with oil and a thin brush. They are kinda crooked. Dark leaves can be added here. We'll underline the shadow under the vase. Maybe paint a shadow under our petals that have fallen. Make some dark green highlights if they're gone. I still don't have a highlight so that it can be seen from anywhere. Bam! You can blend it a little with your finger. The edges of the stroke. Then you can put it down again. Thicker. Don't forget to put your signature. In the bottom right corner. Now we will watch everyone's pieces. What frame should I pick? Let's try a light one. How is it? Does it look good in it? You are great too, I assure you. Now we'll see. It looks like it up close. Now we'll see from afar, and you will understand that everything is quite good. This is the painting I got. Let's see yours now. Well, can I already? Look, what a wonderful picture. Here you can make the shadow under more red so that the bouquet is more compact. Make some branches down here. Overall, I think it's great. What a piece we have here! Awesome! You need to put your signature here. Only the signature is missing. Everything else is very good. Indeed, you got such bright, juicy flowers. They are flowers. You can't confuse them with anything here. And you managed to take some interesting silhouettes. The background is beautiful. Cool. I'm enjoying your success. I really want to see your work. Allow me, please? Now you'll look from afar. Almost nothing is different from mine. There the vase was moved at least. See? Is it great? It is contrasting. You're missing leaves here. Did you not have time to paint them? Yeah, this is literally 2 strokes. The colors are saturated. Colors are in correct places, so everything looks very good. And look here, what a piece! Have you heard? This one is just dope. Here you're sitting, mine is not that pretty. Everybody paints so well and I don't. And then we'll see everyone's works and we'll understand. Mine is better than anyone's. I've done a great job today. I'll go home in a good mood with beautiful flowers. My congratulations! I hope you're happy not only with the result, but also with the process. And those who were watching online, email your work. It'll be interesting to see what you've got. See ya! Bye everyone! You can wave to them too.